Hi friends, I'm on the wrong camera again. Why do I keep doing that? I don't know. Someday I'm gonna get 100% of everything right. Hello Jenny, hello Jen, hello Ingrid. Nice to see you, Ingrid. Oh, I always love what Ingrid creates, so be sure to go and follow her. So Instagram, Ingrid, look up Ingrid, I think you'll find her. I'm so happy you guys are with me today. This is gonna be a low-key Facebook Live. We are at the end of summer break. I have 3 more days, like weekdays, before my kids go back to school. My daughter goes back on Wednesday next week, and then my son will go to full-time pre-K on Monday of the following week. So it's like winding down and things are crazy. And there's right now, I don't know if you know, but Partner Celebration is happening at SCT Magazine. It is a huge party. There's tons of giveaways pretty much every day, at least $50. There's been a couple of $100 giveaways this week. So I hope you guys will go over to SCT Magazine's blog and check that out. And you can find all the links on our Instagram page too. So that's been going on. So saying all this, my creative time has been cut short. But that gave me the idea for today's stream because I have a secret to share with you guys. I am a pretty lazy card maker. I really am. Most of the things you see me create, I create for and with other companies for the magazine, for publication. And so I'm like doing my best. I'm wanting to show off this product. Hello, Tammy from Montreal. Nice to see you pop in. And if you're here, don't worry about, you know, not commenting throughout the whole live. Just say hello now. Just tell me hello and then watch, and maybe you're watching from work. So, you know, just tell me hello so I know that you're there. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm a lazy card maker. So if I'm making a card for someone, because I really do like to make cards for people, right? I typically like to have that person in mind when I'm making a card. I take a lot of shortcuts. I'm not gonna lie. And sometimes I'm doing it at 10 o'clock at night because it has to go in like my daughter's school backpack the next day for a teacher. Hey, Misty. Hey, Heather. Yeah, don't, what is that word where you like, you don't talk during a live or a live, I can't remember that word. Skulk in the corner. Just say hello. I love to know that you're here. And so today's video is all about having a big impact on cards that you can create in minutes, that don't require a lot of work. And I'm doing that with one of my favorite products, and I'm just going to make sure my phone is on focus, do not disturb. I'm doing that with one of my favorite products, and that is embossing folders. Embossing folders are your friend. They are relatively inexpensive compared to other things that, you know, stamps, dies, all of that. Hey, Marcy from Idaho. Nice to see you. And so let me go to the down camera because today I have 2 different embossing folders from Spellbinders, and I want to talk to you guys about the Spellbinders kits, okay? I was not a monthly subscriber person. Oh, hi Barbara. Glad you got home in time. Hope you were running errands or doing something fun. I was never a kit subscriber. Never. Until I noticed the Spellbinders clubs, and I will let you know that now I work with Spellbinders and they send me some of these clubs, but I still subscribe to the embossing folder kit, and actually I forgot to unsubscribe, so I have multiples coming this month. I might do a giveaway on my Instagram, so be sure to watch for that. But I'm talking bang for your buck. I think the regular embossing folder, which they call the 2D, the crazy thing is even the 2D gives you so much dimension. It's amazing. It's under $10 a month. So you get this huge embossing folder. You can do a 5x7 card in this for $10 a month. And that just gives you a wide range of textures that you can have on your background. So that was the first thing that I ever subscribed to, just the embossing folder of the month. Hey, Janelle from Georgia. Nice to see you here. Yes, Ingrid, we all need more quick and easy card ideas. This is the 3D. embossing folder of the month. This is a little bit more, but you get this amazing 3D quality with this one. And it has so much texture, so much dimension on your background that it really is all you need along with the sentiment. And that's why I love them. And I'm not just saying this so that you'll go and subscribe or click the link in my description, but if you did, I fully appreciate it. I'm saying that having these in your stash is a game changer. So let me show you how I used both of these. Okay. So the first card that I have here, Debbie, I'm so glad I brought you out of the shadows. Yes, please comment. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for commenting. That makes me feel good. Yeah, I just would love to know who's on with me. On my screen, I just see comments. I don't see numbers, which is probably a good thing because if I saw like my low numbers, I might be sad, but it's okay. The most important thing is quality over quantity. And I have the best people on my live streams talking to me and commenting. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so again, find the links for the folders and everything I'm going to be using today below. I wasn't sure about the colors I was going to go with, so I've left those off until I'm done. But this is one of my favorite cards, I have to say. This is using the brand new, here it is, clear stamp of the month. Okay, so this is the clear stamp of the month, and it's really delicate on the inside. Stamped it in black, colored it in with my Olo markers, and then the die, the coordinating die, is amazing. It cuts out all of these pieces. So I created a window where I ink blended that arch in the background and put it on there. But this by itself, it really needed something on the background. If you would have put that on a plain card base, it would have been pretty, but this embossing folder takes it over the top. Now, I love white cardstock for embossing. If you don't want it to be too much, then especially if you have a focal point in the center, go with a white cardstock on the background. And then I added a little bit of color on that frame. If I would have done a color, it might have been too much to be competing with my focal point here. Right, okay, so this is the regular 2D embossing folder, and I love it because it is evergreen. You could use that for absolutely anything. It doesn't have a holiday, it doesn't have a theme, it's just lines, and it's really cool. It just creates a really cool texture. Okay, so this is another club that you can join that I love. It's the clear stamp and die of the month, and this month it's this amazing arch. You get sentiments with a sentiment strip, and you get these larger sentiments, hello and for you, on here. And I linked the embossing clubs and the just general club page down below because there's a lot of clubs you can check out. All right, so I did this the other day. Hi, Tracy. Yes, Jen, you do need to use your embossing folders more because they're just so good. I just love them. Okay, so this is the one I made the day before. Okay, and I was experimenting. I was playing with different inks, different cardstocks to get this look. And then I went on the Spellbinders website, and darn it if I didn't see this card by Mindy Egan that just blew my card out of the water. It was amazing. But Mindy is amazing, so be sure that you follow her. Hey, Laura. Nice to see you. Hi, Mary Kay. You made it. Thank you. So, okay. This is a 3D embossing folder. You can see the difference. Oh, that's a lot of shine. Okay, a lot of glare there. You can see the difference when you turn it to the side at how deep this indentation is here. Now, embossing folders do rock, Tracy. I feel like they are the dark horse of the card making products because people don't remember them, and sometimes you just need a little bit of texture on the background. Oh yes, Barbara, that stamp of the month is amazing. And you can still sign up for this kit and get this clear stamp and die of the month, like right now, if you sign up today. Link is below for that one in the video description. So I guess you guys know how to get to that. You hit the more button. I always say that, but I don't know if people know that or not. Anyway, so what I did with this one is I inked up my embossing folder. You can totally do this by just embossing, but when you ink up your embossing folder, you get a second color in there. So you get a tone on tone look. I love it. And it reminds me of my shirt. It's kind of like, it has a Delft kind of look to it with the blue and the blue. So I really like it. Oh, I love that you guys are talking to each other. Laura's getting her Simon Says Stamp mystery box tomorrow. Hooray, Laura. We're all excited for you. Hopefully you'll get an embossing folder in there. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? And then you can like try out some of these things I'm going to show you today. Okay, so let's go and recreate this card. Let's do it in a different color because now you've seen it in blue. I have a few different colors here. I was going to do this one with the other one, so we'll try that one with the other one. So I thought that Briar Rose might be pretty because obviously it says rose in the color. There's roses on this. So let's try Briar Rose, shall we? Okay, so what I'm going to do is feel for the side. So this is going to be the same probably with all embossing folders. The side that's on the opposite of the logo, right? So it's this one here is going to be the one that you're going to want to ink up. This side is the side that I'm going to attach my cardstock to. And when I say attach, because you're using ink, you want to make sure that your cardstock doesn't move or you're going to get that weird shadow effect. So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting a little bit of scrapbook.com's mint tape on the back. Or you could use your Spellbinders Best Ever Craft Tape, whichever. They're both amazing tapes. And I'm going to tape this roughly to the center. If on your embossing folder there's like an image you really want to hit, then make sure that you get it in the place that you want it. That's a good thing with embossing folders is that, you know, if there's like a big rose here and you want that to be in the corner of your card, you can get that there. Oh, and that just moved. Okay, hold on. I might need a new one because this is one that was used on my desk. So let's use the Best Ever Craft Tape. For something like this, you definitely want it to stick. So let's get a fresh piece of tape for that one. Yes, Tracy, you're so right about that. They just need that extra texture. And I really think that for non-card makers, it gives that amazing wow factor when you send them a really like highly textured card, and they're never gonna know that it didn't take you an hour to create. They will never know. Okay, so there's our card. You can close it and see where all your flowers are gonna hit. So at this point, if you want to adjust it, you can move it up or down, left or right. If there is a design that you want to make sure it's centered. So for instance, on the lines, you can see on this card, I'm really careful to make sure my lines match up from left to right. I don't want like a big space here and a small space here. So if it's something like lines, try to get it in the center horizontally on your card. After the tape fails, now rather than later. Yeah, it's so true. So true, Barbara. Okay, so this is there. I'm going to take, so when I'm inking up my embossing folders, I found that I like to use ink pads with the cloth top rather than the foam top. I feel like you get a better like inked look on here when you use this kind of ink pad. So I have never used these two before, but this is what I did earlier. Let me show you. So I took like a scrap piece of Briar Rose and I just wiped this ink on there to see what it was like. So you guys, it could be a crapshoot, it could look terrible, it could be great. Now the thing is, you can swipe like this to try to get just the raised bits, but you're gonna touch some other things too. You can't be too precious about it. This is card making, it's not meant to be perfect, right? It's meant to be beautiful and it's gonna be no matter what. So swipe it. I'm gonna do this several times. So if there was something I didn't get the first time, maybe I'll get it the second time. And then we are going to close it. And this is the scariest part. Now it's time for me to get my big honkin' machine up here. So I'm gonna stand up, grab my Platinum 6. Because of the size of these embossing folders, you got to use the big guns. And I'm going to move my ink pad and run this through. Oh, now with the 3D, you have the platform base, the 3D folder, and just the adapter plate. Oh my gosh, and it just like flew onto, hold on just a sec. Oh my gosh, glad I didn't break my computer there. Okay, so let's see what this looks like, this pass. Wow, look at that. Isn't that cool? Isn't that so cool? So you can see there's a little bit of blotchiness. So that tells me we should do this again. I'm gonna just turn off my keyboard, because if that flies again and it like cancels my stream, I'll be super sad. Hold on just a sec, you guys. Turn off the keyboard so that that does not happen. Let's put it aside, because that just flew out from nowhere. Okay, you guys still with me? Let's swipe it together again. It's great already, said Mary. Yeah, it is. And if you want to stop there, you can stop there. And remember, you know, ink and paper take a few minutes to kind of gel. Ink has, you know, it has, oh, I don't want to install a software update. Thank you. Ink has a formula inside of it that has a smoothing agent. So over the next couple of minutes, you might see some of that blotchiness go away. But the most important thing, guys, is that you try this. I mean, try it with different papers, different inks, see what you think works best, because not all inks work with all papers and vice versa. Yeah, Mary Kay says, I usually put my left hand on the top to help it from flying out. And I would do that if like I had more space, but I don't. But now look at that. Isn't that so cool? I'm going to do one more time. We're just going to go crazy. I love that. It's like a pink and purple dream. I love it. Love it. And it's not too purple. Briar Rose is kind of like just the right amount of purple for me. It has more pink to it. That's why I love it. So let's do a little swipey swipe. So again, this one is Gina K, Dark Orchid, and Concord and Ninth Briar Rose. Let's let it go the opposite way. Let's go this way. I know, I love it. I know, Barbara, yes, my blue card does match my top. I thought of that. Actually, I bought the top yesterday when I was back to school shopping with my kids at Nordstrom Rack. It was a great deal, and I instantly thought of my card. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. That is amazing. I thought that the blue would be my favorite, but I think that this one is gonna be my favorite by far. Okay, let me sit down and get out of your all's way. Then we'll clean our embossing folder off because that's important to do right away. You wanna make sure you get it cleaned off. I'm just gonna use baby wipes here. The good thing is that I have, you know, a 4-year-old who is no longer in diapers, and I still have like half a box full of baby wipes, Costco wipes upstairs. So I got wipes for days. Okay, so make sure you get in those nooks and crannies in here, because the next time you put your cardstock in and say you use a piece of white cardstock, you're gonna be really sad if you have orchid ink in there, dark orchid. I have some on the back too, so. Okay, I think that's pretty good. We might do it in red after this so I can show you more, but check it. Is that not beautiful? I love that. I love it. And look at the difference between the purple and the blue. Now, for both, I use Gina K ink and Concord and Ninth cardstock. So, you know, you can try a Spellbinders cardstock. You might get an even different result. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use something fun. So we're going to use pops of color. I have both the pearl satin here and the pearl soft pink. Ooh, this could be really cool. So I haven't tried this all the way. I just like did a little test today. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're just going to give it a go. So I'm going to put some of this on my desk, and a lot just popped out. And I'm going to use the scrapbook.com foam applicator. And I'm just going to do a little swipe. Now, you could do the same thing if you have Simon Hurley's pastes, those metallic-y pastes, so that you have that sheen on there. This foam applicator kind of sucks up this pops of color. So you want to take a really light hand with it and just go lightly over the top. And this is going to give you a tiny sheen, almost like a highlight, so that when you turn it in the light, you're going to see that light pink pearliness. Now you can do the same thing with a pigment white ink pad. It's just beware that it's going to be a little bit more contrasting. But if you want that, that would be beautiful too. So try the things you have on hand first. I was a little bit stressed because I have to tell you, I don't even have a pigment white ink pad. And I thought yesterday, maybe I should go to my LSS and grab one. And then I thought, hold on, wait, I have pops of color. Ingrid said, I love how changing the colors gives you a totally different look. It does. And it's so like, just try different inks with different colors and see. Now I did try one that didn't work, and it was because the cardstock was too far from the ink. And I think I used white cardstock and a colored ink, and it didn't look great. It looked too blotchy. And so I would say try to get a color of ink and cardstock that's close together. Close together. This is so pretty, you guys. I wish you could see this pearliness in person. And you can actually hold it in the light at an angle to make sure that you got all of the raised bits covered in that pearl. Oh, I think this is like one of those, it's one of those techniques that is just so easy. Look at that pearliness. Isn't that amazing? I just love it. I love it. I'm obsessed. Okay, so I'm gonna take my pops of color and clean that off of my glass top first. Yes, you do need to do this, Tracy. I'm gonna take another clean baby wipe and just clean off my foam applicator, because I might use that pearly one for our next one. Now, the one thing that I forgot to do, I love to use a frame, but now that I've already embossed this, it's really difficult to cut this down without smushing any of the embossed like areas. So I will probably just put this on a card front just like that. But if you want to make a frame, make sure you cut down your cardstock first. So take off 1/4 inch from both sides, the left and the bottom. Yeah, Barbara, we're winging it today. That's what we're doing. We're winging it. I don't know. It's going to be beautiful or it's going to be ugly. It usually doesn't turn out somewhere in between, but like, you know, it's okay. I really loved the way that this one turned out. Look at that. So just let that one dry for a few minutes. This, because you have such a thin layer on here, the drying time is nominal, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna put it aside real quick, and let's try this in red, because the holidays are coming and you guys may be sending a lot of cards, and this is a great way to mass produce cards. Embossing folders are quick and easy. Now let's cut this down. Embossing folders are quick and easy for mass producing, and they pack amazing results. So when you're planning out your cards this year, maybe you've already done so, or you want one more idea to go into your mix. Think about what embossing folders you have on hand and go check out the Spellbinders website. They have some amazing ones. So I really love getting their club kits, because every month you get a new one and you get to try different things. It has a different look every month, you know. Oh, thanks, Barbara. You guys are so sweet. Okay, so on this one, I'm gonna put this on the back. I cut that down so now I can have a little bit of a frame on the outside. Again, here's the top, has the Spellbinders logo here. And I am going to grab Gina K's Faded Brick. Again, it has that fabric applicator. And so I'm going to put this, go ahead and put my cardstock in here. Kind of get it where I want to have it on the plate. So I'm going to put it kind of right in the center. But on this one, it doesn't matter. Oh, you got a new one with mittens. So fun. Yeah, Sherry, this is a great embossing folder. This is the Spellbinders 3D embossing folder of the month. So currently you can only get it if you sign up for the embossing folder, the 3D embossing folder of the month club. But I was just telling everyone at the beginning of my live, if you didn't hear, that these are the least expensive clubs that pack, I think, the biggest punch. I think they're amazing. And so I think they're highly worth checking out. The great thing about Spellbinders clubs is that you can cancel at any time. So if something comes up and you realize that you can't really afford to splurge, you know, next month, you can cancel. No biggie. Ooh. Oh, I need a scout right now in my life. I need a little one. Okay. So let's put this in. I can use a scout for my sentiment if I make a sentiment today. I don't know. Are we going to create a finished card or are we just going to play? Barbara said, I may have missed it, but did you mention your paper before? Moisten your paper. I did not. No, Barbara, I did not moisten my paper at all. And I've never actually done that. But you can see here on this one that there is no rippling on the paper at all with this embossing folder. Let's see what it looks like. I can't even talk. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. So this is Faded Brick with, oh my goodness, I gotta remember, cranberry cardstock from Concord and 9th. Wow. Dying, dying, dying right now. Dying. Okay. Yep, this may be my favorite one. I think this is like the perfect holiday card because roses for holidays, yes. Oh, yeah, you guys, I just got goosebumps. Like no joke, when I opened that, I got goosebumps. It's like almost tear worthy. How beautiful that is. And it's so easy. Okay, can you tell that I geek out over paper crafts? I just think we all love to be paper crafting nerds together. Okay, Teresa says, just joining, question, what is the difference between a 3D embossing folder and a regular? So Teresa, it is just the level of depth in the embossing folder. A 3D is going to be a little bit thicker, so you're going to have a different plate setup for 3D. Now they both have amazing 3D effects, but your 3D embossing folder is going to be even deeper and usually have multiple layers. So you'll have like a high, medium, and low, and that gives you that. I'm going to stop with 2. And look how beautifully the ink went on to that cardstock. Oh, shut the front door, you guys. I'm dying. That's a Christmas card if I ever saw one. And that's what I had in mind when I said, oh, let's try red. Because everybody's kind of like thinking about Christmas. Let's do red. And yes, this is where it's at. Okay, I'm gonna, you know, the fastest way to clean those up is to put them underneath, like in a sink of soapy water. But what I don't want is to get red everywhere. So let's clean that up. Let's put this aside. All right, I'm glad something turned out nice today. And more detail work. Yes, Misty says more detail. So it's very, very detailed. Usually more than just like a straight up pattern. It has lots of different things going on. I think that is stunning. Ooh, okay, so let's add a little bit of sheen to this one. This time I'm going to do pops of color Pearl Satin. Let me go in closer so you can see what this does. I want that in a couch. I mean, it could be a great couch. It could be great drapery too. Pretty drapery. So, love it. Oh. Or even accent pillows. We should tell Spellbinders to branch out. Oh my gosh, look at that already. Ooh. So this is just the pearl. So there's, you know, no pigment to it. It's just that bit of metallic. So I guess it has a little bit of a silver effect when you put it on. Yeah, I am so in love with this. Yeah, red is even better than I would have ever expected. And I'm not a red kind of person. I don't like red. I don't use red in my house, you know. Misty says yes to Christmas cards. I have 500 to make. Yes, Misty. Grab your embossing folders, girlfriend, and get to work. And can you imagine like somebody opening this card that you send them on Christmas? Oh, I went a bit heavy there. Ooh, let's fix that. Don't mess up my card. If that happens, it's okay. You know, nobody's going to notice. But yeah, can you imagine somebody opening this card and just oohing and awing? That'd be amazing. I would love to get a card like this. I don't even send cards like this. What am I saying? Now, I do give Christmas cards to, you know, teachers, people that are neighbor, you know, things like that. If we go over to somebody's house and I take a bottle of wine, then I'll put a Christmas card in there too, but I don't send them anymore. We do the family photo ones. So the ones that I give are usually pretty special, and this is definitely one that I would give out. So you just want to make sure all your bits are highlighted around the card. I think we got it all here, but look at that. Isn't that amazing? I know, my enthusiasm is adorable and really, really geeky, Tammy. I know. Oh, cool. Mary Kay said she's figured out the sandwich for 3D embossing folders on a switch. So does anybody else have a switch here that wants to know that information from Mary Kay? She could always share it with you. I know it does keep getting better and better, but at some point you just have to stop though. Because at some point you just have to say enough, I gotta stop, because you could just keep going. Okay, so I cleaned that up, and I can put this in soapy water later. These are really great and super expensive from scrapbook.com. I linked them below. I use them for things like this, for my pops of color. You can actually do the same thing with like splatter white, because this is an opaque watercolor. You can put this on your desk, like really tap off, get just a tiny bit of white and do the same thing. And it will give you a more opaque white look. Just make sure you go easy on that one, right? Okay, so let's make a card. Should we make a card? I should have grabbed a holiday greeting. I did thank you, but this could be a holiday thank you card. Yes, over the top tags, Barbara. Absolutely. Okay, so I haven't linked this yet, but this is one of my favorites. Let me back up here. Let's go wide. Okay, these treasured cardstock packs are amazing. They come in rose gold, silver, and gold. I'll link the silver right after we're done. I have a brand new linking system I'm so excited about. It's gonna make things so much easier for me. So check that out. My links look pretty. And look at that. So this one is the the matte. This is the matte silver metallic. And I love that they have this little cheat sheet for you. That's pretty cool. So this is the matte silver. So let's go with this one. And I'm gonna put this on the outside to give it a nice little frame. Oh, a vellum sentiment would be gorgeous. Oh, you know what we could do? We could do like a vellum shadow layer. Yeah, we could do that. I just wish I would have gotten out a holiday sentiment from Spellbinders. I feel like I have one here, but I'm not sure. Okay, 4 1/4, 5 1/2. So we're just cutting out an A2 size piece. This is dry now, so that's how quickly the pops of color dries. This is the one that I linked below. This is the pearl. What one is this one? Pearl. satin, pearl satin. So I used 2 satins here. I really like that finish. They have gloss finish, they have satin finish, they have glitter. So they're all really cool, but I thought pearl would be great here. So let's adhere these together. Now I get really nervous when we're talking 3D embossing folders and tape runners because you don't want to push down on it per se and flatten it in any way. So I am going to cut this off and not do such a big angle. I'm sad my husband isn't here today to make fun of me as I geek out over embossing folders because he's on a call. So he had to step out of the room to go take his call in the dining room. But if he was here, he would be like, what are you on about? Crazy. Getting excited. Good thought, Mary Kay. Vellum. Yes, vellum would be really pretty. Just anything like soft. And for these, all you need is a sentiment. I mean, if you want to put a beautiful like small die of the month on there or something like that, amazing. But you definitely don't need to. A sentiment is all you would need. And I'll definitely have to put this on my feed. It'll definitely stick out because the red, I never use red. So this bam, pop of red is gonna stick out on my Instagram feed. If you don't follow me on Instagram, that's a good segue, right? Be sure to do that at Meghann Andrew. And you can find me pretty much everywhere. My website is meghanandrew.com. So that has my blog there. All the links are on the side for the shops I like to shop with. What else? Facebook, I think it's Meghann Andrew Scraps. And then YouTube, you guys are here, so you already know me here. But if you don't already subscribe, I would love it if you did. Okay, so let's try to get this centered because once it's down, it is down. And hopefully I've cut my cardstock straight. You never know. There's always workarounds if I didn't, just trimming, but look at that. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, so what we can do is then put a sentiment right here, and let's go with the vellum backing. I always keep little pieces of vellum here. Look at this. This is something that's coming out soon, so I can't tell you what that's from, but let's do some vellum here. And I'm trying to find my big scissors, my big favorite Spellbinders scissors. These are the Pro Shears, love them. And let's see if I can fit thank here, which of course I can't. So, and that's the U, that's not the shadow. Come on, get it together, get it together. Okay. Here's the U shadow, and then I'll use a different piece of vellum for the thank. There's a nice clean piece of vellum. So this vellum is scrapbook.com's vellum. It's great. Love it. I love the thickness and the opacity of it. So it's a nice feel. Can you hear that? It's nice and thick. And I think it's great. So I'm going to grab my Scout because I need a little Scout action in my life right now. I don't feel like lifting. The Scout has definitely spoiled me, for sure, because it is so much lighter and wonderful because everything is back here behind me and I have to lift it up and pivot and turn if I want to sit down during a live. Plus I don't have to adjust my camera. So the Scout is so nice. Tammy says, you are an awesome teacher, Meghann. I always enjoy your classes with SCT. I'm so looking forward to our upcoming event. Yes, me too. We have so many events coming up. And Tammy, before you came on, I was talking about partner celebration at SCT Magazine. It's huge. It's happening right now. So be sure you check that out since you're an SCT community member. And thank you for that. But yes, there are so many things coming up. The card event. I actually will be with you guys on Saturday night in the card event. I'm excited to share what I'm going to be making with you. but you'll find it in your card event box. And then we have the Halloween one-day scrapbooking event, which I'm excited about, and then the holiday event. So there's so much to look forward to. It's awesome. Okay, so here is my vellum layer. So I'm going to put this in my cute little tray here. And if you didn't know, Spellbinders has these amazing trays that are wonderful because they have lids. Let me show you. So if you're in the middle of something, say your Christmas cards, and you don't want to lose all the pieces that you die cut, you can put the lid on. The lid also has a little rim on it too, so you can put some things up here. And I linked these below. You can get these in like 3 different sizes, and there's one pack that has all 3, and that's the one I have, and I love it. I love it. And when I was at Spellbinders for their event, that was like one of the first things like I had to grab in their warehouse because it's great. They're great. I love that they have lids. Okay, so putting the shadows aside. Now, with your silver, you're gonna ruin your silver if you put the whole piece of silver through. All of it's gonna get messed up, meaning the etching from the top of your cutting plate, sorry, this cutting plate. So whatever's up here, can you see that? Like a little bit of, you know, weirdness is going to go into your metallic cardstock, and you're going to be able to see it. So only cut the size that you need. So just do a little trim with your scissors and then adhere your dies. So we're going to do thank you. We always need thank you cards for the holiday, right? Oh, Mary Kay's having minor surgery the week before the holiday event. Maybe watching more than making, but so fun. Well, Mary Kay, it will brighten your spirits and get you in the holiday mood. And hopefully you have some time before the holidays hit or when they're going on. If you have some downtime, then you can create the projects with us. So I'll be thinking of you and hoping that your surgery goes easy peasy. Okay, let me grab this. And let me put this aside. And let's put this aside. Okay. Whew. It's like a workout, live stream workout. Okay. So I need my little tray here because I actually have my vellum pieces in there. Good tip. You forgot to do that yesterday. Oh, it's so sad when that happens. And then your whole piece of beautiful metallic paper is kind of, it's a little bit wonky. It doesn't ruin it. I would say ruin is a strong word, but it definitely makes marks in it. So you definitely, this is the lazy way of getting your die cuts out. The lazy way. There, I have two classes in the holiday event, I think. So it's going to be really fun. Okay. So this is a great sentiment set from the Out and About collection from Spellbinders, and I love it because everything in that collection fits on the Scout, so you know that it's all going to fit on that 3.5-inch platform. So that's what the Scout has, just 3.5 inches, so it's, you know, easy to do for small dies and things like that. Let's start with the K. And we can do a little bit of this. Just go easy on the glue. Okay, there's that. After this live stream, we have a meeting set up with an architectural firm who's bidding on our house renovations. And so next year, we're redoing our entire first floor of our house. I don't know where that goes, actually. So let me start with the T. The entire first floor of our house. And so I'm glad that I'm doing something fun right now because that number is probably going to be pretty yucky. So happy to spend this happy time with you guys at the moment, talking about cards and not about renovations and money. So it's the happy part of my day. True, not ruined, but unusable for words. Now it will be frames or strips. That's a good idea, Misty. It's a good way to look at it. Yeah, and if it's like a strip that you can cover up with a strip sentiment, that's a good idea because you'll only see the edges anyway. So if you get lost in a shadow layer like I just did before and I didn't know where that in went, then it's a good idea to go to the other side and then meet in the middle. So start with the K, go to the T, and then you can kind of get an idea. Oh, I picked that up with my finger. Then you can kind of get an idea where things are fitting. And that, I think, now is much clearer. I just don't want to drop my N. Okay, that looks good. It just looked a little bit off to me. Okay. There we go. Just making sure that my letters are nice and straight there. So there's my thank. And then here's my shadow Y. If you do that with your silver paper, you can still run it through a 3D embossing folder most of the time. Oh, that's a good idea, Tracy. Love it. Let's see. What did Mary Kay said? She loves her Scout. She got a waffle flower 6x6 grit mat just to hold it in place since it doesn't suction. That's a great tip. I love that, Mary Kay. So you have one just for your little Scout. That's great. And yeah, and those 6x6s are pretty inexpensive. So that's a great tip. I love that. You could also put silicone feet on the bottom, I bet, to keep it in place. You know, like the things that you put at the bottom of your picture frames so that they don't kind of bounce on the walls, those little doodads. Okay, I'm loving this. And I was going to show you guys the 2D, but I don't know if we'll have time. We might do the 2D real quick and just do, yeah, we might do something. I don't know. We might experiment with that one real quick. Because I have a piece of Nectar cardstock here, and I bet that 2D embossing folder would look gorgeous in Nectar. And again, the least expensive kit club in Spellbinders lineup. I mean, and they're just awesome. Look how pretty, you guys. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. So I'm not going to go crazy and put, you could, you know, be a little bit extra and put foam adhesive behind these letters because it's vellum. You can see where they're going to lie, but I am not going to be crazy today. I'm just going to put some adhesive behind my letters like so. I'm so glad that something turned out good today because I wasn't sure, just wasn't sure what it was going to be like. Okay. And then once I get these in place and I'm sure they're nice and straight, I'm going to put an acrylic block over the top. Ooh, silicone shelf rolls and cut them down to fit underneath. That's a good idea at the dollar store. I love that. That's a great, great way to save some money. My husband just closed the door and it sounded like the entire house was going to come down. Okay, so put that on there and then we will put this aside for just a sec. Let's just do something fun with a 2D embossing folder before we go. We got a couple minutes. If you guys are with me, you want to hang for just a couple more minutes. So let me grab my Nectar cardstock. Let me do that. Sorry, Nectar ink pad. That's just around the corner from me. So again, I'm going to use some tape here because I'm going to center this cardstock up and I don't want it to get lost. Okay, so you remember what I was saying about the lines? It's really hard to see against my grid here, but if I pick it up, it's a little bit easier. But you want to kind of get your cardstock so that your lines are even from left to right. Even if that means it's not directly in the center, but see here how this line is going down here. This line is here. It's probably a little bit closer on the right side. So let's push that over a tiny bit. And at the bottom too, that line is hitting up here and down here. And I just like lines to be the same. So again, you want to make sure you're putting in your folder the right way. Now this one has a different setup. Let's widen this. Yes, Debbie, that's what I said. As soon as I thought about it in red, I thought about Christmas. And so I'm just making it a Christmas thank you card. It's perfect. Yeah, a Christmas green would be pretty too. So this one is a standard embossing folder sandwich. So you want to do the platform top, the platform base, your embossing folder, and then your cutting plate. So this one has the same sandwich as your regular dies. And we're going to run this through. Okay, take a look at this one. Ooh, I love this one. I just think it's so pretty. Now, I've not tried to add ink to it, but why not? It's a piece of paper. If it looks horrible, we didn't lose much, right? So let's try it. So this one has a great texture. And what I love about this one is that anything you put on the top, it's not going to take away from, right? You're still going to be able to have your focal point like on this card. It just adds that beautiful texture behind. But for one like this one, let's just see what happens when we put some nectar ink across it. I don't know, you guys. Let's just see. Just kind of like highlight the lines. I don't think it'll actually do much because it's tone on tone, but you never know. It might pick up some of them. I don't know. I don't know if I would bother doing that because I don't think it really does that much. You could do the pearl pops of color on the top of that and just make this raised section a bit more pearly so that it had a sheen to it. But I think with this one, I would just leave it. I just love it in Nectar though. I think that's such a pretty color. This is Nectar from Concord and Ninth. Okay, so let's go back to this one. At least I showed you another option there. Look at that. Oh, I just love it. The only thing I'm going to do to this card is add the Spellbinders Silver Mix Self-Adhesive Crystals. Why don't we do these like metallic-y? These are really pretty. And they're kind of darker. So they have that beautiful... Oh, I just think this entire design is hitting all the right notes for me, you know? Hitting all the right notes. I love that they have, look at how tiny these are, you guys. These itty bitty ones, they rock my world. I always love to have small, medium, and large. And this small one is like the perfect size small. And I think I'm gonna put this one right there. So I just did 5 of those. You know what? I'm going to swap these. 5 of those around the sentiment. And that's all you need. Let's get this one back on here. Turn it over. Check it. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. So I know, Mary Kay, you gotta do that light touch, super light, super light. I love the shimmer too, Ingrid. And I mean, can we just talk about how amazing embossing folders are? So look, the 2D embossing folder of the month is under $10. Like that's a steal. It's great for adding texture behind your elements. It's great for like everyday, any kind of cards. 3D is the one that really packs an amazing punch, and you can just do it without anything else, or you could add ink to your embossing folder to give it that like extra special something so that you have that darker background. Look at how this purple has turned out too. I love that. That's a beautiful, I think this one might be my favorite, although the red is, I don't know, it's hard to tell. Tell me what's your favorite in a comment. If you're watching on replay, be sure to tell me. If you love creating with embossing folders, be sure to sign up for the Spellbinders embossing folder and 3D embossing folder of the month before it's too late. So you can get this design if you love it as much as I do, or these two designs if you love them as much as I do. And I am always so grateful that you guys tune in on a Friday at 11:30 Central Time, because it's just nice to be able to try out new things and craft. Sometimes I have a plan, sometimes I don't, like today. And we just had fun, right? And I hope you've learned a few new things, and you'll go and you'll grab some of your embossing folders this weekend and give these ideas a try. Be sure to check out the links to all the products I used in the description box below, and I'll be updating with colors there in a few minutes. But love you guys. You're wonderful. You're so friendly. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And be sure to, let me see, am I coming on next Friday? Am I coming on next Friday? Yes, I am. So be sure to be here with me next Friday, same time, 11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern. Spend your lunch with me. We'll chat. We'll make something maybe. You know, we'll see. Have a wonderful weekend, you guys, and happy creating.